What's up, everybody? Today we are going to talk about Deckers, ticker symbol DECK. It's a stock we've talked about on the channel before. They just reported this quarter's earnings, which is actually their second quarter of fiscal year 2026 for them. Clearly, the market didn't like it. The stock was down 15% today, and they are at a new 52-week low. Now, you may not be familiar with the name Deckers, but I can guarantee that you are familiar with their brands. They own UGG and Hoka. Each of those is contributing close to 50% of their revenue, and then the rest of their brands that they own, that's not even 5% of the company. But UGG is certainly an iconic brand. Hoka, I used to have a pair of Hokas. They're great shoes, extremely comfortable, and just anecdotally, I feel like I've been seeing more and more Hokas out there. So we're going to take a look at their earnings today. We're going to try to decide, is Deckers value? Is Deckers offering good risk reward? As always, if you get value out of the video, subscribe to the channel. If you want to make spreadsheets like this or just support what I do, consider following me on Patreon. Link to that is going to be down below. And now let's talk about Deckers. I've never owned Deckers stock, but I have been following the company for a little bit. In fact, we talked about it a few months ago when it was around $100 a share. I said Deckers under $100. I thought it looked pretty good. Now it has dropped under $100 a bit since then, and I haven't bought in just because I've had other opportunities. Now we're being offered an even lower price. So the question is, is this a market overreaction to the earnings, or, does the future not look as bright for this company? In fact, before we dive into the specific numbers from this quarter and a bit from their earnings call, let me just give you a bit of an overview of their company, and I'm going to use a little sneak preview of a website that I'm working on myself. We just type in Deckers here, and a few things right off the bat that are big green flags to me that jump out about this company. They have a huge net cash position. No debt to speak of, and that means their enterprise value is significantly less than their market cap. They have more than $1.5 billion in a net cash position. This company is getting about a 6% free cash flow yield, and they're returning a lot of that cash to shareholders in the form of buybacks. We see that from this owner's yield right here, 4%. So a lot of the free cash flow coming back to us owners. And another thing that definitely jumps out to me, as a shoe manufacturer, they are getting 23% operating margins right now, 57% gross margins. These are ridiculously high numbers. These numbers are higher than Nike. They're higher than a ton of their peers. If I just throw their margins on a chart with a bunch of their other financials here, we see that as they've been improving revenue, margins have been going up as well. In fact, over the past 5 years, they have more than doubled their revenue. Now, before that, this company, the revenue was a little bit stagnant. Sorry that I'm missing data for 2014 right here. I'm using my own Google Sheets extension to bring this data in, and there occasionally are a few holes, so sorry about that. But as you see here in 2020, revenue really took off, and this is Hoka. Hoka used to just be a little tiny brand. This company was all about UGG, and now Hoka is bringing in close to similar revenues to UGG. Now, diving into the numbers from the quarter, Hoka top line grew 11%. UGG top line was growing 10%. These are great numbers. And on the bottom line, earnings per share growing 14%. Earnings per share growing faster than the top line. And that's because the margins are actually stronger than they were a year ago. Gross margins holding over 56%. We thought because of tariffs, margins would be under pressure and that they would pull back a little bit. And management is still saying that margins will be under pressure. And yes, a lot of that is going to be from tariffs, but we're not seeing that yet in this quarter. Cash is up, share count is down. It seems like there's a ton of things to like. The numbers look pretty good. You have a strong brand, a brand with leading margins that is trading for, just 13-ish times earnings. And once you take into account their net cash position, if you're just looking at enterprise value to operating income, this is trading for a single-digit multiple right now. They're returning capital to shareholders with no debt, leading brands. It looks good. So why is the stock down 15%? Why is the stock at a 52-week low here? Well, reading through their conference call, I think that there are a few things going on. First, the guidance was pretty weak. They gave guidance for full fiscal year 2026, which, just to be clear, fiscal year 2026 for them, this ends March 31st, 2026. So they are halfway through their 2026 fiscal year right now. And the guidance they gave for the second half of this fiscal year implies very little growth. In fact, they're actually implying negative earnings growth. Now, they don't explicitly say that, and I'm surprised that no analyst actually asked them directly about this on the call. But if you just look at the numbers that they're putting out here, they're guiding for diluted earnings per share of $6.30 to $6.40. Let's just call it $6.35 a share. So far in the first half of this year, they have earned $2.75 a share. That leaves $3.60 a share in earnings for the second half of the year. And that might sound like the second half is growing compared to the first half, but keep in mind, the second half of this year includes Christmas, includes the holidays. If we look at their quarterly financials from the last holiday season, from the last fiscal quarter 3 and quarter 4, they made $3 in earnings per share and $1 in earnings per share. So $4 in the back half of the last fiscal year. They're guiding for $3.60 in the back half of this fiscal year. They're actually guiding for earnings to be down. What their guidance implies is that the holiday numbers are going to come in weak. Operating margins expected to be approximately 21.5%. For anyone else, 21.5% operating margins are absolutely incredible. For Deckers, I think this might be a little bit of a disappointment. Still amazing numbers, but this is a decrease from last year, and management is citing tariffs. In fact, on this earnings call, let's just see, tariff was mentioned 38 times. They talked about tariffs a lot. And they basically said, we've avoided tariffs so far because in the second quarter, we increased our prices a little bit before the full effect of tariffs hit us. But we are seeing weakness in the consumer now, and we expect tariffs to compress margins in the back half of the year. To be honest, I am pretty surprised by the guidance. I mean, negative year-over-year earnings growth is not what you expect from Deckers. It's not what you expect from a company that has been doing double-digit growth on the top line. Now, reading between the lines, if we put on our business detective hat and try to figure out what is going on operationally here, it sounds like to me they pulled forward quite a bit of their revenue into the first half of the year. So for these brands, some of the revenue is coming from D2C, direct to consumer. That's, Deckers themselves selling directly to whoever wants to buy their shoes. But the majority of the revenue is coming from wholesale. So here, Deckers is selling their product to a retailer who is then at some point going to be selling that product to the consumer. Now, Deckers selling to the retailer, that is called sell-in. They're selling their inventory into the retailer. And when that happens, Deckers is recognizing that as revenue, even if the product has not been sold through from the retailer to the consumer yet. So it sounds like what they're saying, in the first half, year-over-year gains were led by the wholesale channel, in part from earlier shipment timing. Management says, I would note that wholesale sell-in was the driver for total UGG brand performance in the first half, which includes benefits from earlier shipments. So the first half of this year, sell-in has been strong. That wholesale segment, they've sold in a decent amount of product, especially on UGG, to retailers. But that means that they have effectively pulled forward revenue from the second half of the year into the first half. So when we're thinking about modeling out the future of this company, when we're thinking about putting in estimates for our forecasts, we need to keep in mind it sounds like revenue is going to pull back a little bit. Management is signaling that the consumer in the US might be under a little bit of pressure. US is still making up the majority of this company's revenue, by the way, even though international is growing faster. And I think there's a long runway for their brands, especially Hoka, to continue having strong growth driven by international for many years. Now, let's put in some numbers and see what we can expect for a return on our investment if we invest in Deckers stock today. So looking at our base case, I think we have to pull our numbers back a bit. I was assuming revenue growth of 10% on the top line. In fact, last time I actually did a video on Deckers, I had 11% growth on the top line here, and we see that they have been doing high teens growth, but their guidance is implying that growth slows down. So I'm going to put in maybe 8-9% here. I'm going to keep it a little conservative, put in 8% in our base case. Operating margin, I pulled this back to 21. Previously, I was looking at 22% operating margin. They're guiding for 21.5% for the full year. So, 21% base case. I think that seems reasonable. As far as the money that can be returned to us shareholders in the form of buybacks, I think this is maybe a little bit high. I'm going to pull that back slightly, and I'm giving them a 12 times multiple, which I think is completely fair for a company like this. They're still a great brand. They're still growing. They have no debt. And in this scenario, you are looking at a 15% annualized return on this stock, which is essentially a double over 5 years. Now, as far as the bear case, I think I was pretty pessimistic here. I'm actually going to pull the revenue growth back to 5% a year over 5 years. Operating margins pulling back to 19%. These are still actually very good margins for a shoe manufacturer. It's just for Deckers, I think that this is a bear case. I pull back the money that they can return to us via buybacks, and I've only given them a 9 times multiple. And in this scenario, you're getting 3% on your money every year. This isn't too far off from the return you would get just having your money sitting in a money market fund. For a pessimistic bear case, I think it's really not that bad. And as far as what does the bull scenario look like, I'm going to assume 11% growth on the top line. I think that is optimistic. Hoka is likely to hit or even outperform these numbers, but I don't think the rest of the company is going to keep up. Operating margin, putting them at 22%. And at the end of the day, I'm giving this company a 15 times multiple on operating income, which for a growing, strong business, I think that this is totally possible. And in this case, you are looking at a 24% annualized return, or essentially a triple on your stock over 5 years. So overall, I think the risk reward looks pretty good. Maybe the reward isn't as high as we've seen on other companies, but the risk side, what I see as the pessimistic bear case, I think the downside with Deckers is a lot less than it is for many other stocks. Now, one thing I'm not so happy about with this company is the insider ownership is extremely low. Only 0.5% of the company is owned by insiders. If we just go and take a look at their filings here, and I just want to see what insiders own, I know that's going to be on their proxy statement. So view this filing. I'm just going to search beneficial, because typically beneficial owners, beneficial ownership, here it is. Okay, we see the biggest owners are Stefano Carati, the current CEO, and also Dave Powers, the former CEO. Both of them have, roughly $15 million in stock. While that might sound like a ton of money, we are talking about a company that is trading for over $10 billion. It's really not that much. I don't know if this is a massive percentage of their net worth, but I would really like to see some strong insider buys if they truly think that the stock is undervalued here. Now, as far as what I'm doing with Deckers stock here, again, I don't currently own any shares. I am interested. I think that the stock is undervalued, but there's a lot of opportunities in the market. I just did a video on Molina Healthcare. I've talked about Nomad Foods. I am adding to my position there. I am pretty surprised by their guidance, and I think I'm going to wait on Deckers. I may change my mind in the future. I may sell puts to buy Deckers at a lower price. And if the stock price moves up from here, if this is the bottom and I don't buy and I miss the opportunity and Deckers doubles, then, that's okay. I don't have a crystal ball, but I do think Deckers is undervalued and I will keep following it. And I'm sure we're going to talk about it again on this channel. So if you got value out of this video, subscribe to the channel. If you want, consider supporting me on Patreon. And as always, if you agree or disagree with anything I said in this video, leave that down in a comment below. And I hope to see you all in another video.